Bonjour à tous and welcome to French for a Day. This is my little French corner on YouTube where I love to share with you my love for France and I love to talk about French beauty, fashion and lifestyle. In today's video I'm going to be creating my Parisian makeup look using only clean beauty products. If you're new here and you enjoy beauty talks, I would love to welcome you to our beauty community. So take a moment to subscribe, and if you're returning, welcome back dear friends. I'm so happy that you have chosen to watch my video. Let me know in the comments what are your favorite clean beauty brands. Now, at the time when I'm filming this video, clean beauty is still not a legally regulated term. So every retailer can have their own definition of the word clean beauty, and every company can label their products as clean and can have their own definition of clean beauty. Here for today's video, I have chosen products that I use on a regular basis. I love these products and they are labeled as clean in a lot of retailers, and these are all high performance products. Now, sometimes with clean beauty, products do not perform as well, but in today's video, I have chosen only products that are very, very good. And I have 3 new products that I'm going to show you today and that I'm going to use together with you. So let's go ahead and get started. Currently don't have anything on my face. I'm going to start with my ice globes because I really love using them in the morning because they help me to depuff my skin a little bit and they help me to feel a little bit more awake. So I'm always, most mornings I'm going to start with these, and even during the day or before I apply makeup, I'm usually going to massage my face just a little bit to help my face to depuff, and it also helps me to feel a lot more awake. And especially now as the days are becoming a little bit hotter, I feel like I wake up a little bit puffy sometimes if I ate something that is more salty or if I had some sweet treats. So what I'm gonna do is I usually like to start under my eyes and then I like to roll gently, applying moderate pressure, not too much, not too light, but just a gentle, I would describe it as a gentle pressure under my eyes. And this is before I do my skincare. This is, if I have a little bit of time, I'm usually going to spend like a minute or 2, even sometimes 3 minutes. It just feels very refreshing. And I have 2 sets of these. So once they get a little bit more hot and not as cold, sometimes I'm going to change them. So it all depends, but I rarely have that much time. Now I definitely feel a little bit more awake. I'm going to be using one of my favorite serums, and this one is by L'Occitane. This is supposed to be a nighttime serum, but there is no problem to use it during the day as well. I usually like to use 2 pumps, and I consider this to be a clean beauty because it contains mostly natural origin ingredients. As I mentioned, since this is not a regulated term, it all depends on the retailer. But I like this product because it is very gentle to my sensitive skin. Sometimes I'm going to use it in the morning as well because it is very calming and it moisturizes the skin and it keeps my skin very calm. I find that it really helps to improve my skin with continuous use. So this is a serum that I like, and I'm going to apply a little bit on my neck as well. 2 pumps for my neck. It has almost like this little micro droplet technology. Next, I'm moving on to my current favorite under eye moisturizer. I find that this one really helps my eyes. It's not considered to be, I believe some retailers consider this to be clean beauty. This is by Sisley and it's the Sisley lip and eye cream. It comes with a little tool that helps to massage the cream. I find this one to be very useful. Now this cream contains a lot of botanical extracts like most of Sisley skincare, and I always apply way too much. You don't need that much. But anyways, I'm going to apply also here on this line on the 11 and then on my smile lines as well. I'm going to gently pat this into my skin. I think that it's worth the splurge, this cream, if you can afford it, because I have used this one for years and I really like the effect. With continuous use, I find that it helps to minimize a little bit and to soften a little bit the fine lines under my eyes. I've tried also the face moisturizer from the same line. I actually have a little bit left here, but this one is quite expensive. Now this tool, it comes with the cream and it's great to depuff the eyes because this one is usually cold. I like to keep this one in the fridge just so that it's cold, and I'm going to do a little bit of additional massage if I have the time. If I don't have the time, I'm only going to do this in the evening, but when I have the time, I'm going to do it in the morning as well. And I would say that in the morning it's even more beneficial because it helps to depuff the eyes. It's very convenient for the under eye area because it fits perfectly here under the eyes. Now with the ice globes, they are quite big and I cannot really get under my eyes. Sometimes I'm going to use this part here in case I feel like I have some puffiness under the eyes. I'm going to use this one just to help depuff my eye. But this one is a lot more effective because it's a roller and you can just roll here under the eye. It helps to depuff. And then I'm usually, if I have the time, I'm going to massage these lines here so that they don't become more visible. Next, I'm moving on to makeup and I'm going to be spending the day inside, so I'm going to go in directly with my base product. But if you are going out or if you're using any kind of retinoids in the evening, make sure to apply SPF. Now, my favorite clean SPF is by Supergoop. I'm going to write it in the description box below. I recently tried it and it's a really good one, and makeup applies beautifully on top of this one. I forgot what was the name of it, but I'm going to make sure to write it in the description box. For face, I'm going to be using a favorite product, and this one is from Kosas. It's the Tinted Face Oil. This is my favorite clean beauty product for to be used instead of a foundation. This one is a beautiful product that sinks into the skin and literally melts into the skin, even though it's tinted face oil. Now, a few drops are enough and you can get a medium coverage with this one, depending on the amount that you're going to apply. It is very liquidy. I have the shade 02, which is dark for me, and I will need to get a paler shade, but I want to use this one. For the late summer, this is going to be great. And then in the fall season, I'm definitely going to get the paler shade because it looks like it's going to match my face, but then it doesn't match perfectly with my neck. I usually like to use a shade paler foundation. And this one can be applied with fingertips, but I actually prefer to use a brush. I like to use a dense brush to apply this product. Wow, this actually looks like a very good match for my skin tone and a very good match for my neck. I spent a few days in the south of France, and probably that's why, even though I was wearing SPF 50 the whole time, it looks like I have a little bit of color already. So the shade 02 matches my skin tone quite well. But once again, probably the better one for if you have such pale skin tone is going to be 01, because I have a little bit of color now on my face. We have some redness here, so I suppose I'm just going to apply a little bit of the Kosas tint. Let's cover this. So on my whole face, I have only 3 drops of the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. So this one covers pretty well. I have a light coverage and everything looks very natural. Everything looks very beautiful, but I can definitely build up the coverage if I want to, and my skin is not going to look more oily, and it's not going to look oily, which is great. They also have a wonderful concealer that I love. This is one of the best concealers that I have ever used. But then like 3 months after I started using it, I feel weird scent here. So this one, since this is clean beauty, apparently this goes bad very quickly and I will have to replace it. I'm not willing to use this one just because of the scent, but the consistency and this concealer is so good to be used all over the face. I definitely am going to repurchase it, even though the thing here is that once you buy it, you have to use it, otherwise it goes bad quite quickly. And for now, I'm going to be using my Sisley concealer because, again, this one contains some skincare ingredients and some natural origin ingredients. I have been loving this concealer. It was recommended to me by a lot of you, and I'm so happy that I found it under my eyes. So little goes a long way with the Sisley concealer. Okay, I have to say that I'm always surprised when I use the Kosas Tinted Face Oil, because somehow, even during the winter when my skin was a little bit paler, it somehow matches with my skin tone and becomes one with the skin. It's almost like it has this, almost like a color adaptive technology, or I don't know, it just adapts to my skin and doesn't make my skin look dark, which is great. Like in the winter, I could use a shade paler, but for now I think that this one works quite well on me, considering that I have a little bit of color. I'm going to move on to powder, and for powder I'm going to be using my favorite powder. This one is the best clean beauty powder that I have ever used, and overall it's one of the best powders that I have ever used. This one is Pink Bubble by Westman Atelier. It is a great compact. You can see that I use it daily because I have a dent already, and I like to use this powder with a sponge. Now, one of the reasons why I love the Kosas Tinted Face Oil is because it is oil, but it doesn't make my skin oily. It has great botanical ingredients. It's a wonderful blend of oils, and especially for the winter, it's great. But I can use it even right now. I probably wouldn't use it in the late summer months, or in the summer actually. Let's say July and August, probably it's going to be a little bit too oily for August and July because I live in the Mediterranean region. You can apply this powder with a brush if you have more dry skin. I have combination skin and I prefer a dry sponge because I can get the powder right into my skin and I get a little bit more matte effect, a little bit more airbrushed effect, but it helps to minimize imperfections and it helps to minimize pores as well. So that's why I love it so much. I'm going to quickly fill in my brows, and I only have one brow pencil, or a couple of brow pencils, but I only use this one. Moving on to blush, I'm going to be using one of the Rare Beauty blushes, and this one is in Nearly Rose. It looks very, very beautiful. This is actually the first time that I'm going to use this pink blush. This is one of the new products. I always wanted to try this one, and look how gorgeous this looks. It is a beautiful pink color, almost like, I would say, a fuchsia color. I think it's going to look quite fresh on the cheeks. I'm going to take a little bit and dot it here. Probably I should have applied this one before the powder, but the good thing is that the Westman Atelier powder is so forgiving, so there is no problem. I can use this one even on top of powder, and you can apply cream products even on top of the Westman Atelier powder. Usually I like to apply a little bit on my nose as well. Just a touch on my nose. I'm going to blend with a brush. So let me know what you think. I think that this blush is truly gorgeous. It's called Nearly Rose. Next, I'm going to use another favorite product from Westman Atelier, and this one is the Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Peau de Rosé. I think that it's perfect for this season. This is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. It is so beautiful. It looks truly divine, and you can apply this one on the go. I think that the tinted highlights of Westman Atelier are truly iconic, and you can apply them on the go. You can apply them on top of powder or under your powder. They always help to create this very healthy look. I like to apply a little bit more. You can apply them with a brush or with fingers, just like I did. Now moving on to eyes, I'm going to be using a new eyeshadow palette, and this is one of the newest eyeshadow palettes from Dior. This is one of the reformulated Dior eyeshadow palettes that right now contains naturally derived ingredients. And as a lot of you probably already know, Dior reinvented their whole makeup line because they wanted to go into this clean direction, and they wanted to make their whole makeup line more clean and more sustainable. And they reformulated their eyeshadow palettes, they reformulated the blushes, they removed the talc from their products, from their powder products. I've already tried in store some of the eyeshadows from Dior, and I think that they have a very good quality, especially considering the fact that they don't contain talc now. The powders are, some of the powders, the shimmery powders, are more firmly pressed. Now the eyeshadow palette that I decided to choose is 429. This is one of the most beautiful neutral palettes that I think is going to be perfect for the spring-summer season. And it's actually a timeless eyeshadow palette that can be used during all seasons. Now I only wanted to show you some swatches and tell you that the top two shades are more sheer. So some people might not like this one. Initially when I swatched it, I thought that these are way too sheer, but then I tried it on my eyes and they look beautiful. The only thing here is that if you want to apply one of these two colors on the eyes, you have to use some kind of primer or a little bit of concealer, just so that the colors can catch onto something. So if you use these two colors on dry eyelids without any concealer or without any kind of base, they are not going to perform in the best way. On the swatches, you are seeing the swatches on my dry arm. I don't have any moisturizer on my arm, and that's why the pigmentation is more subtle. But I wanted to be realistic, and I wanted to show you what you can expect. I think that the eyeshadow palette is beautiful, and my favorite color is this one in the middle. I also love this one because it has a very beautiful iridescent shimmer. It has a little bit of pink, a little bit of peach. This eyeshadow palette is truly gorgeous. I'm going to apply the middle shade all over my eyelid, and I think that this one is, for me, this one is irreplaceable one and done eye color. It applies very smoothly on my eyelids. So the top two shades are a little bit more sheer, but these three here, they are very soft, buttery, creamy, just like the old formula of Dior. They glide on very easily on the eyelids. Then I'm going to take this color with my finger and I'm going to place it on top, just in the middle. I am going to use this one almost like a topper shade. This is a very interesting color because it changes color almost, you see, depending on how the light is hitting my fingers, it just changes the color. Next, I'm using a sponge applicator and the rosy champagne color to line my lower inner corner. This is just going to add a little bit of light. I'm using this eyeshadow palette for the second time, and I have to say that I have fallen in love. It is a beautiful eyeshadow palette, but if you prefer intense pigmentation of the colors, you're probably not going to like it because the top two shades are more sheer, and overall the colors are very subtle. I would say soft, elegant, beautiful, absolutely stunning. But once again, if you are into this kind of the kind of Pat McGrath very intense color payoff or the Tom Ford Wet and Dry formula, this is a different formula. I'm going to use a little bit of the dark brown here. The matte colors are very soft and smooth. I'm going to apply this one only on the, a little bit on the outer part of my eye. Now I'm probably going to repeat myself, but I have completely fallen in love with this eyeshadow palette. It is so French. Next, I'm going to comb my eyelashes and I'm going to apply mascara. For mascara, I'm using the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. This is my favorite clean beauty mascara, the best one that I've tried so far, because it really helps to define the lashes. It doesn't give me clumpy lashes. It is buildable, but It makes the lashes look quite natural. Now this is the second Ilia mascara that I'm purchasing because it took me a while to actually like this mascara and to understand how it works. There is a little bit of a learning curve and I wanted to explain to you because for me it took a long time to actually see how the mascara works. This is a beautiful mascara because you can go from completely natural looking lashes to a beautifully designed dramatic lashes because the brush of the mascara has different sides. You can probably see the big comb of the brush as I tilt the brush. So you're going to need to experiment a little bit with this mascara, but you can use the comb for a second coat of mascara and to really add a lot of length to the lashes and to literally design the lashes the way you want to. And then you can use the short bristles of the mascara just to, if you want to get a more natural look on the lashes, and if you want to just separate the lashes, add a little bit of volume, you can use the short bristles of the mascara. If you've watched my French versus Italian makeup video, I'm going to make sure to link it here. I show you in the Italian part that I like to use two mascaras to get this impact on the lashes and to get these big bold lashes that Italian women are famous for. This mascara can do, with this mascara you basically don't need two mascaras, you can use just this one and achieve the same effect. So I would absolutely recommend this mascara, but it takes a little bit of time to see how it works, to figure out how it works, and it takes a little bit of time just to play with the mascara and see how you're going to prefer to use it. But it's a beautiful product. And then we are moving on to the lipstick. Now for lipstick, I'm going to use a bright fuchsia color. This one is from Rare Beauty. I always said that fuchsia color is a beautiful alternative to red. If you're afraid to wear a red lipstick, start with fuchsia. Fuchsia is just as beautiful as a red lipstick, a classic red lipstick, but it's a little bit more wearable, and especially for the spring summer season it looks so beautiful on everyone. And the color that I have chosen is Ascent. It's from Rare Beauty and it's one of their matte lipsticks. I'm probably going to add just a little bit more blush, and I'm going to use one of the Refra brushes. This is my favorite, and I'm just going to tap the blush here. Now when you're wearing a bright red lipstick, you usually know how much blush you need after you apply the lipstick. And this is going to be the finished look. This was my Parisian makeup look using clean beauty products. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I think that the look is quite suitable for this time of the year. I didn't do my hair today, but I don't want to use heat. Most of the days I try to stay away from heat on my hair, so I'm just going to keep it back here. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for spending time with me and for watching French for a Day. Until next time, à bientôt!